Hello everyone! Welcome to episode 6 of live stream here at Kev Central. Quick look at the chat, which is off to the side. Martin the Fisherman, hello. New York Luis, you are back. I appreciate it. Swift Lone Archer, sounds deadly. Appreciate you being here. Fat Mexican 69, hello to you. Daniel Lee, hello. Saw you in the last live stream. Raising 3 boys. DIY Solar Energy, I hope that wasn't you that texted me, because I can't read that right now. Marcus Contreras, that was not. Harry Grimley, hello to everyone. I got Johnny G. Rod, M33B. Is that some mnemonic that I'm not able to read? Do you think it's worth upgrading the crankset bottom bracket on my specialized rock hopper e-bike? I don't know if you need it. I mean, you wanted to go one by. What's up with your existing one? Got a few topics today. Rocco Barras, Chris America, I like that name. South Carolina, I like South Carolina too. Hey, there's some East Alabama representation from Josh CK93. Fishopedia's back. Dennis Williams, Yoki D, say hello. Well, hello to you. Hey, Big Truck RV, hey buddy, how are you doing? Again, I want to mention him. He's got a super good channel for RV stuff, and you had turned me on to Matt. Well, I called and it went straight to his voicemail. So I guess I'll just wait a little bit and try to call back. But I appreciate you being here. Marcos Contreras. Okay, so I have quite a few topics. Actually, not that many. I usually do 5. But I just wanted to recap the past week because, as you know, I finished that 5 for 5 thing, which just about killed me. But I got that final episode, which was with the Hemingway, which I don't know where it's at. Over here. There it is. The Hemingway was an amazing bike, but that was the final episode. You got to see that. First ones that knew about it, it went live right after the feed. Then I did the 100K celebration. I should have brought, why did I bring my, I'm blaming you, DIY Solar Energy. You didn't remind me. I don't know why. I didn't remember. I mean, I should have brought my play button down here and stuck it somewhere. Because as you can see, I have started the process of sheetrocking. I've got 3 of the 4 lower walls, and this is 14 feet up. 14, maybe 15. I can't remember if it's 13.9 or 14.9, but it's way up there. So a lot left to do, but at the very least, I have something started. So do you like this better? Do you like it better than my faux advertising for Knopf Insulation, I think is how they say it. I don't know how they say it. Where's the button? What button? Oh, my play button. He's talking about it. So that's our buddy Harry Grimley. Johnny DeWitt, love your hat and your channel. Thank you. I wear this a lot. My Sonic hat. People think I'm a hardcore Sonic fan. Really not. Really not. I just liked this. And you'll have to excuse me, but I'm getting blown up here. That's on Facebook. Oh, somebody ordered an Electra step through. Nice. Those are fun bikes and very good quality. And he's showing off, I don't know how much money. I'm going to have to pay this guy back when he does a live feed, which will be tomorrow night. DIY Solar Energy. I'll be moderating his live feed. So he's going to do, I don't know what, rebuild a battery or thumbs up. Oh yeah, he's reminding people to thumbs up this video. That helps out the channel more than you could know. Hey, Dave Wicker. You just bought some stickers from me, I believe. I think I just mailed those. So thank you very much. From Wisconsin. Hey, Willard Buchanan. Man, all kinds of people. Aldous, you. ALDOUS, Aldous. I don't know how you say that. But from Wyoming, welcome to Alabama. From Wyoming to, I guess, kind of similar states as far as, well, not population-wise, but I think Wyoming people and Alabama people probably get along very well because of the rural communities. We have a lot of rural, and Pennsylvania showing up here, Mountain Bike Thrill Seeker, Chevy Box 9, Amy Fogarty. I see a lot of the same names I see a lot. Mark Blackburn, appreciate you guys being here. But what I wanted, I'm going to have to mute my phone here. Someone's blowing me up. What I wanted to mention was the 5 for 5 was a success. And then I did that 100K thing. I'm still so mad I didn't bring the play button down here, but did the 100K. And since then, I've been working on this. But me and my dad, and just taking breaks and working on it. And it turns out sheetrock a lot heavier than I thought it was. Some heavy stuff. And then will come the taping and my first go at that. So this is going to be probably a drawn out process. Bell ring for DIY. He's talking about the bike bell thing, but yeah, I don't know where I put that. I have moved everything out of here because I had bikes, man. I had bikes outside. I was so worried about it because of how many bikes I had outside and getting this sheetrock in, and I was so worried. I don't know, I've shoved all this stuff into one far off corner here, and I don't know, maybe I'll kind of creep over as this is going and start talking, or as we're talking, and try to find that bike belt. So I hope I can do that because you guys deserve it for the super chats and so on. Super 73, those are pretty awesome. I've seen them in person, I haven't ridden one. Like Onyx, I don't know of an Onyx. I'll have to look that up. Drew Chapman from Minnesota. Kurt B. New Dolomite scheduled for delivery Friday. Congratulations to you, Kurt B. And by the way, I have a friend. Spells his name Kurt with the U like that. DIY Solar Energy knows him too. He was another one of the convenience store lot. And of course, Kurt and myself went to school together. But congratulations. And do people call you Kirk a lot? It used to drive him crazy. Hey, Kirk. It was Kurt. Kurt with a U, not with an I. Bill Baker. No Torrens. Gigi Bike sealed bottom bracket kit comes with the crankset and spacers that usually fit any bike. They fit any bike as long as it is a 68 or a 73 millimeter spacing. I think that's what it fits, those two, which are the two most common. So that works out well. All right, so today, or tonight, it's tonight, at least here in Alabama, it's dark. We're going to talk about a little bit of fun. I'm going to try to mix in. This is going to be more casual than before. I guess they're all casual, but a little less scripted because we're going to talk about bikes and beyond. But I want to start off talking, well, first, shameless plug, merch plug. And by the way, I don't see Dave Montreal in here yet. David Montreal, he always asks about what shirt I'm wearing. So we'll wait and see if he shows up. See, sure, but it's not a merch shirt of mine. It's one that he asks about a lot. So we'll see if he shows up. I'll unveil that because it's a little chilly, bizarrely chilly tonight. What are your favorite builds riding the trails? I really, of all my bikes, I like the Aluminum Comp Project Comp V2.2. That's my current favorite, but that may be changing. That may be changing when I get into some future project bikes here because there's some cool stuff coming that may change that. But I want to do a shameless merch plug because that helps the channel, along with super chats, the whole works. This is backwards, I keep forgetting. This is a shirt design I've had up. This is for the e-bike fans because I'm going to talk about e-bikes next. You can see it's an e-bike logo here with battery charging. Right there, battery charging, and has a Kev Central logo in the center on the back there. And what I'm going to do is for you guys, since you are the loyalist of loyals that come to these live streams, I'm popping up, and DIY Solar Energy should be putting this in chat because I don't know yet how to put this on the screen. Because you can see I'm struggling with software in one of the corners, that corner, there's a little Logitech thing because for some reason tonight I can't run this without having my Logitech open. I don't know what's up with that. I was working with colors trying to change it, but 15% off any shirts that you buy or anything from that kevcentral.store, and that's good for the next 24 hours or the 31st. It expires the 31st. So that's just a little something where you can get a discount for being here on the live streams, and I appreciate that. I have currently, I think, 5 shirt designs, 5 or 6, and I'll be working on more. Regularly, I plan on releasing regular new shirt designs, and I also, for my eBay store where I sell stickers, Kev Central stickers, always very popular, have something new. And if you guys know, and this has sheetrock dust on it, so it doesn't look as holographic-y, but there's my holographic, this new logo that I made, the full suspension logo. It's a little glary, but this, yeah, it's a little special. This is a magnet. So it will stick to anything steel. So there you go. Got those on the eBay store, magnets along with other stickers and the ones that are bizarrely popular. Wouldn't have thought that those would be as popular as they are. Most popular though, the 2x2 base Kev Central logo sticker, I assume because they fit so well on bike seat tubes and down tubes and things. But thanks to everyone for all the support. It's gotten this channel to 100K, growing by the day, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Even if you don't buy stuff, you don't do super chats, just being here is more than enough. I really do appreciate it. Anything above that, like Johnny DeWitt with this $5 super chat. Have you found an RV yet? I'm gonna have to click on it. That went away. I meant to change the timing on that. I'll probably do it during this live chat here. Have you found an RV yet? How is the generator holding up? Are you talking about a generator in an RV, or are you talking about my 2 generators that I have, my personal generators? Because I have 2 Sportsmen that I use as backup emergency generators. If that's what you're talking about, one of them's doing well. I'm going to make a video on my Kev Reviews channel showing, I don't know, one of them just kind of futzed out, the biggest one. The 3500, it started having problems, just all of a sudden. And I see another super chat here, Adam Farr, $5, yes, appreciate that. And I'm going to have to click on this. So let me know, in DIY Solar Energy, if you can let me know if he's asking about the generator in an RV, because I don't have an RV yet, so I can't do a generator in it. So they're holding up well because I don't have them yet, if it's an RV generator. What's a usable low price e-bike? Found to buy a 5-bike Yamaha Ridgeback. I'm not familiar with that specific model of Yamaha rack, but I'm glad you found one. Because you were asking if there was a 5 or a 6 bike rack. So you found a 5-bike. That's awesome. What is it?
Real quick, you need to check the live chat button.
Okay. What is the usable low price e-bike? You know, it depends on your idea of low price. If it's under $1,000, the Electric XP, I've got 2 of them back there. They are very, very awesome. And I'm already seeing some messages having to be deleted. I don't know. We'll see about that. I can't. I thought I could go in and see what they were, but it turns out I can't. Maybe I can here. No, I can't. So we'll deal with that if it gets worse. Let's see. But Adam, I'm glad you found your rack. So were you talking about bikes cheaper than that? Because there are some cheap e-bikes on the Walmart website. There's those Hyper e-bikes, and I had turned away from that Hyper. And if you've seen me kind of looking around and looking off to the side, there's one bug in here. I had this door open all day working on the sheetrock, and there is one bug in here, and it is driving me crazy. So if you see me freak out and dive to the ground fast, that's because whatever kind of bug that is making a run at me. So I have to be careful with that. But there are some cheap e-bikes on the Walmart website, like the Hyper bikes, that are $6.98. And I dismissed one that had rim brakes. Well, rim brakes are not up here, but rim brakes. I dismissed that bike, but now I'm kind of rethinking that because that thing, that has rim brakes and it does okay. So maybe that's not as bad as I thought. And $6.98 is pretty cheap for an e-bike, and I guess some people have liked that because they keep mentioning it on the site. Some people that have bought that. So maybe at some point, if I catch them again at $3.98, I'll buy one. I kind of tried at the end of it last time. They had them for Black Friday and missed it. But thank you, Adam. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten the name. Let me go back here. Who did that other super chat? Johnny DeWitt. Thank you both. I appreciate it. And let me scroll through. Link to the stickers. I believe you did put that up right after you asked. So thank you for that. Thumbs up, people. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Harry Grimley. I appreciate that. Bad time to shop for an RV. Was that? Is that an old Budweiser commercial thing? No, that was Up, wasn't it? Was Up. Bad time to shop for an RV. COVID. Yes, the demand, and yeah, it is a very bad time. But I am patient. Well, actually, I'm not patient. I have zero patience. But for things that I want to spend money on, I can be very patient. I can wait things out and do a lot of research. Shout me out. No way, Peter Hoover. I refuse. I hope that worked. Steve Sering, you ever thought about how many bikes you're responsible for people purchasing after your video? No. I don't think about it a lot because I just enjoy doing videos on bikes, but apparently quite a few people do because they sell out pretty quick. So that's worked out well, I guess, for people with good bikes. Maybe, maybe there's that. But thank you. And yeah, there's Peter again. All right. So, and hey, Andrew Cannon, the guy that bought and broke the Tokul one that I sold. I hope I'm working with the mic gain. I hope I don't have it up too high. I'm watching the meter. It's not pegging into the red. So hopefully no distortion for you guys. Of course, I probably need to move that. Probably rattle on the display here. Can't wait to see the new 2021 Schwinn Axum DP. Possibly may see that as early as tomorrow night. But I'm probably realistically looking at Wednesday for that. Because I'm having to, my gimbal died. So I tried to work without the gimbal and it didn't work out. So I'm going to have to go back and get some quick reshoots so I can have any ride footage, but I already know how it works. And it works as well as you would think an Axum DP would work. Pretty awesome. And a couple of surprises, even one that you guys don't know about that's really impressive. So yes, I can't wait for the video to post for that either. But thank you very much for commenting. Raz Kronk, used your promo code when I got my electric XP. Have you ridden our Silver Comet Trail? No, I have not ridden on Silver Comet Trail, but congratulations on electric XP, and you used the code, so that means that you got panniers. And that code's, what, a year and a half old now? I'm impressed that it still works. Voice is fine. Thank you, Chris America. Also very nice icon that you have there. Jason Hoffman also let me know the sound is good. Taimna Begum, nice. Well, I hope. I'm pretty sure I slaughtered your name, but I hope not. Mad Bucket. So, let me tell you what we're going to do tonight. We are going to do I'll hold this up so it's not so looky away. I'm going to talk about e-bikes in just a second, so get geared up for that. Because a lot of e-bike talk. I don't know if you can tell. I have 6, well, you can only see 4 of them. Wait, 5 of them. There it is. 5 of them, the little praying mantis, the red mantis. We've kind of nicknamed that little Z1. I have 5 e-bikes in here. Maybe 6. No, 5. 2, 3. No, I think there's 6. And we're going to talk about e-bikes, and we're also going to do this thing called Take 10, where I'm going to give 10 minutes. I'm going to set the timer on my iPhone, which will be very awkward because I'm going to do it on camera here, live. I'm going to set the timer on my iPhone, which hopefully I don't swear at my iPhone because I do that about every time I use it. But I guess I've reached that point. Well, I'm that clicker. What's going on with this thing? Why don't you kids come over and help me? I'm going to do a Take 10 where I do 10 minutes where I look at nothing but your questions. And we're going to see how that goes. And 10 minutes, and I'll pause the 10 minutes when there are super chats. That way that doesn't get ate up where 2 or 3 people eat up the entire 10 minutes. So be fair to everyone. Super chats get their allotment, and people that have asked general questions still get the 10 minutes. So we'll try that and see how that works. I'm going to give you the option of a random non-bike related story, and I've talked about this in previous videos, but we're going to do just a random topic, which is you get to choose between one of 3 topics. You can choose, and if DIY Solar Energy, maybe if you could add these to the chat would be cool. I would, but it won't let me chat in this box. So, the one is that time I joined a separatist party. Talked about these last thing, so hopefully you've thought about that. I see another super chat popped up here. I'll get to you in just a second. By the time it pops up on the screen. The second option is a convenience store tale, a random convenience store tale. Most of them involve me and DIY Solar Energy because we're both together there almost 24/7 it seemed like. And the third option is the time that I got fired from my first job. I got fired from my first job, didn't even make it a month. I can tell you the story behind that because it's a pretty good one. But that time I joined a separatist party, a random convenience story tale, or when I got fired from my first job. And let me get to this super chat. This is from Al Santiago. Love your review of the Dolomite ALX. Thank you. It's actually that way, just a bit, about 5 or 10 feet that way. And it is a very awesome box. You have a Mongoose Argus Trail 26, the same design, Which you have upgraded with an air fork. Oh, type which air fork? I'm curious about this because I'm going to be taking that thing to the trail soon. I'm sure I'll be begging for an air fork for it afterwards. Sending it here in Southern California. You're sending it in Southern California. Southern California, awesome. Thank you so much for your super chat. And no bike builder ring. I didn't bring my Streamlabs deck because I've been working in here. Get that. So I'll have something special for all you guys. And I think maybe I can do credits. I'm going to try that. We'll see how it works out. But thank you. And that's very cool that you have upgraded it. Post down in the comments because I look at all of this stuff after the fact. So post in the comments if you've done any other upgrades to it as well. So I'd be curious of that. But thank you so much. I've got Tick00. Andrew Cannon loves you. So that must be Andrew Cannon is sending a super chat there. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. He's a pretty awesome guy too. I've only met him one time, I think, just the time. But we've talked multiple times on Facebook. So is it true the new Schwinn axle has boost spacing? Are you talking about the axle? Well, technically on the rear they've already had space, but it's with a quick release. So I'm not going to reveal much more about, but it does have boost if that's what you're looking at on the front fork. Now it's standard quick release on the front fork if that's what you're asking about. Okay. So, and I wish, like, virtual rings of the bike belt I don't have on my finger, the bike belt. I'm gonna find this thing. Pause time. Pause time. Oh, that's not. Okay. Okay, I'm not finding that thing because it is in a pile of rubble. A pile of literal rubble. Sheetrock dust. I'm inhaling sheetrock dust right now. So if it starts looking like I've got white powder around my nose, I'm not doing something nefarious. It's just sheetrock dust that I'm slowly building. DIY Solar Energy kidded me today because my neighborhood's going downhill fast. He kidded me that I should take some of this sheetrock crumbles and put them in little Ziploc bags and start throwing them around and see how many people speed to them in my neighborhood to try to grab them. So and I actually thought about doing it. That's how bad it was. The only thing that kept me from doing it is I'll be polluting because of the plastic bags. The only thing that stopped me. Got to be honest with that. And he's reminding everyone, XR Pro's 15% off. You're just joining. I've got merch. Whatever. Yeah, here it is. The shirts, new shirts, and I've got this bike bear thing that I'll be wearing in the next live stream that I love to death. And probably be wearing it tomorrow when I go get the COVID vaccine. I am actually excited to get stuck in the arm. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. See how my excitement lasts on that. But man, I'm ready to get back out there. I'll be able to go into Walmart and look at the bike racks. So that would be nice. And wow, walls. Robbo, is that how you say that? Robbo, yes, my walls. A lot of work here. I just talked about if I start building white up around my face, it's because of all the sheetrock dust. Which I hope is not ultra toxic. Hey, and there's Sonia. Formerly Spectrum. The walls are looking nice. I appreciate it, buddy. One of my patrons, a couple of patrons, I believe, in here already. Thank you so much. So, getting back to my list. I've got the things you can choose. So remember to choose one of those three things and let us know. And I will see. And you're getting vaccinated, Amy Fogarty, getting vaccinated tomorrow too. Who would have thought we'd be so happy about this, right? I just hope I don't cry. Probably, but I may. I don't know. We'll see. And it's at the health department. Like that idea, but take it where you can get it, right? And I also want to, I've talked before about, I'll just go ahead and skip to this one. I've talked before about YouTube channel revenue and how some channels make the revenue and how I have. Somebody got your appointment Wednesday, Lakeland, Wayne. Awesome. A lot of us going to get hopefully safe or safer. And I talked about how there's this thing with bike companies, they lead off with how much do you charge for a review, which is not, I used to just totally ignore those, and now I don't charge, blah, blah. I had two, technically I guess it's this past week, since this is Monday, but I had two since that last live stream that led off with how much do you charge, and when I replied with, I don't charge, you can send a bike, I'll review it. If you want to send it back, you want to send back, you got to send a prepaid label, arrange that ahead of time, but you don't control my reviews. I publish my honest opinions. the replies I got from two of the companies, and I've had multiple contact me, but the two of them, the reply after I said that was, "Thank you, have a nice day," or "Have a nice evening." So, oh, well, clearly that how much do you charge has an entirely higher level of ness, I'll just leave it at that, than I even thought. So just share that. So that's knocked out one of the four. I've already talked about the Code XR Pros. Only good until, what is it, tomorrow night? Through the 31st. This is the 29th. So hopefully that'll save anybody that has been wanting to short a little bit of money. And again, mention I do have magnets now. This is with the new design, but this is a magnet and it will stick on anything metal, steel metal, not aluminum. As I just showed, those are on the eBay store. Let's see, Al Santiago said something else here. It'll pop up in just a second. Bucklos, nothing fancy, helps. Oh, Bucklos fork. He's talking about the fork that he bought for his Argus. It's Argus, right? Like the Dolomite ALX, but the previous, I guess, version, you'll say. So that's okay. Thank you. Thank you. I actually have something to say, and there's a super chat. So there you go. There is that. And thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Let me tell you, those forks, like the Bucklos, the Z. I ordered a Bucklos. I don't know where it's at in here. And I got a ZTZ or something like that. ZTZ Racing. I think it was. No, it was supposed to be Bologna or Bologna. I call it Bologna, but it's Bologna. I think it was supposed to be that. And they sent me ZTZ Racing, and I think I can actually see it off in the distance there, but it's unretrievable. But those, let me tell you, I haven't heard of any problems with those. But there are two things that I don't skimp on that much. Number one is I refuse to buy those bargain basement carbon handlebars, the ones that are like 20 bucks. Because if it's a carbon fiber handlebar and it's $20, yeah, that's not something I'm willing to risk. I mean, if that goes, that's facing the stem or worse. So I refuse to do that. And cheap forks, I'm very cautious with forks. I will try cheap forks, but I mean, I have to build confidence with them before I will leave them on a bike. And let me tell you, cutting down forks. I cut down my own forks now. Bought that cut down guide tool. I think I have it on my Amazon store. So if anybody wants to go see, it's cheap, little $15, $16 tool, saves from having to take a fork to the bike shop. But you'd also have to have something to set the star nut. But it's a lot easier to cut through those cheap forks, the ones that I've had experience cutting down. And I've done for myself and for a couple of others. A lot easier to saw through those cheap forks. So think about that. Now that's not saying that they're so weak that you can't still get structural integrity out of them so that they're not going to break. Because again, I haven't heard any problems about those cheap forks, but think about that. If that metal is soft enough to noticeably easily saw through, or easier, it's easier to notice that it's easier to saw through. Double thing there, a little redundancy. Then it's not as strong a metal, and that's right there at a critical point. Don't want the bars or the fork to break. Everything else you can possibly ride through. Any other major issues you can possibly, a crank snapping, even a taco in a wheel, you may be able to make it through those. But if your bars come off or come in half, that's bad. If your fork goes this way and you're trying to go that way, also not good. Also not good. Same Moderna, that's what I'm getting. Mr. Blackburn, getting a Moderna. Quick look here at chat. I was shipping, then where you are. I'm assuming he's talking to somebody about ordering shipping parts. I have a cheap pair of carbon bars that snap. There we go. Thank you, Peter Hoover, for sharing that information, because I'm going to have to drink some water in a second because I'm tasting sheetrock. Tasting it, and it's not that appealing. Not that appealing. But so you have a pair of cheap carbon bars that snapped as well. See, no, not worth it. Not worth it. The only carbon bars I have are also way off over there, and they're those anvil bars. Very, very expensive, and they don't even make them anymore. And I called because I got concerned, Hey, I noticed now they're aluminum. So what's up with that? Was there a recall or something? Oh, no, we just decided to go with aluminum. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Let's see what. Uh-oh, somebody must have had COVID. I must have missed something about somebody with COVID. Oh no. Oh no. I hope you're okay. Or maybe it was symptoms from the shot. Ew.
That was me. I was talking about I got COVID from my dog.
Oh, okay. All right, making sure. When somebody with a horror story. You know, you hear horror stories from the vaccine. I know about 8 people that, knock on wood, and I'll have some right there. I know about 8 people that have received the vaccine so far. Moderna, I think 5, well, hers is too new. But Moderna, and they were fine. They said their arm was a little sore, and that was it. So hopefully, knock on wood again, hopefully. I love carbon fiber to death, but carbon bars. This is Sonia, formerly Spectrum. Yeah, they give me anxiety too. Definitely give anxiety. Carbon wheels, carbon seat posts, carbon forks. You know, even carbon wheels. I won't do super cheap carbon wheels. That's something I don't trust. And I don't know if you guys have looked. There are carbon. You search for carbon wheels on Amazon, and it comes up with these wheels that have a carbon hub. Everything else is steel spokes and an aluminum rim, but a carbon hub. And I thought that was interesting, but not something I would try without seeing someone else try it first. What shoes do you recommend for mountain biking? Cole Miller mountain bike. Okay, now this is going to make me sound horrible, but I know you're supposed to use the, crap, I'm forgetting the name. Something 10. The big mountain bike shoes. I don't wear those. You know what I wear? You go to Walmart, you go to the slip-on shoe section in Walmart. They're cheap little shoes that they run on special for like $7 to $10. They look kind of like Vans, little knockoff Vans. I wear those because the bottom surface of them, I have on Converse right now, but I don't ride in Converse unless it's street bikes. But on a mountain bike trail, I ride in those. They give perfect grip with like a Chester pedal or a Fuker pedal. It's like perfect grip. Works out great, the tread on. So even when they crack in the middle, like that's just an extra little bite on the pedals. Bunny hop a little easier over things. Did you know you sound like the How's It Made narrator? Vico MF. I didn't know I sounded like that person, but I like that series, so thank you. I guess. Thank you. I wish I had their money or their job. I'd be happy to take their job. I don't think they do that anymore. They don't even do those How's It Mades anymore, do they? It's kind of going, it's okay to drink water here. The one I do, I'll go to my Be Right Back screen because I have that screen. I had the Johnson & Johnson. That's the one I wanted. One jab, one and done. It's supposed to be the least side effects. How'd they turn this into a vaccine? I'll get away from that. All right, so let's go to e-bike. Talk about e-bikes. I have a few things, but I'll start out with what I've written here, which is, are you okay with e-bikes? Very, very controversial. Going from vaccines to this, like controversy to controversy. Very controversial e-bikes into the mountain bike scene because a lot of people think it's cheating. I don't personally. If you think that way, then that's fine. That's one of their choices. But a lot of people get mad also. But a lot of people starting to sound like that beauty pageant person that, I don't know, they asked her a question, it totally didn't sound like, she just started throwing words in there. Didn't even answer the question. But a lot of people also getting mad because of bike lanes. And I get that one. Now, I do get that one. If you were in a bike lane and an e-bike's coming through at 25, or the people that have the 1,000-watt motors and the batteries strapped all over the bike and they're doing 35, almost 40 miles an hour, I get that. I do get that argument. But in general, are you okay with e-bikes? How do you feel about them? Let's light up the comments here and get the discussion about that started. But I also want to mention, I wrote down just a few pros and cons. The pros is how I see it, and this is why I support e-bikes, and why there's a lot behind me. I set that up just for this, because this was kind of the main little breath. It'll probably be a shorter live stream today. But e-bikes I like because it means more riders. Number one, more riders. And more riders riding bikes, whether that's an e-bike or a regular bike, can only be good. That can only mean more bike lanes. That means more representation with any of the groups, the nonprofits that lobby for bikes and trying to keep bike safety in check and trying to keep us safe from the public, like in my city. You know, Florence, Alabama historically has not been a very bike friendly place to ride. You would have to get on the sidewalks. If you don't want to get ran over. Tech Geek 10 donated $5 to Super Chat. Thank you, Tech Geek 10. Let me look at this question. We ever review the $650 Walmart Hyper e-bikes? Not exactly verbatim how you asked it, but yes, maybe. I talked about that just a few minutes ago, as a matter of fact. I talked about those Hyper e-bikes and how at first I didn't want to do it because of the rim brake on the main one that I was looking at. But after having ridden this bike, I kind of maybe not so concerned with that anymore. Plus, it looked like I could have, it's got mounts on the back so that I could do disc brakes if I wanted, and then of course put a different fork on it, which I would definitely do because of the cheap fork. But thank you so much for the $5 Super Chat. I don't have the bike bell ring to ring right now, but you get a virtual, thoughtful bike bell ring. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that, and I hope that answered your question. And good fitting because we're talking about e-bikes. So more people better, and that's more lobbying, and can only lead to better biking because, as I mentioned, here in Florence, we used to ride on the sidewalks, and it was fine. The city never said anything, but people would, get those bikes off the sidewalk, and you ride in the street. Hey, get out of the street. Get on the sidewalk. Now we have a few. I'm fortunate to live very close to downtown, which downtown, well, it's not big, but because of the university, I've got access to a pretty good shot of bike lanes to get to the main stuff that I need to get to. But also, along with getting more riders into riding, also you can ride longer. I mean, think about that. If you're a new rider and you're wanting to get into cycling, I've mentioned this before, I said I know them, but it's kind of an indirect no. Someone that was very large that bought a Trek e-bike and started riding that e-bike and lost a lot of weight and ended up not on an e-bike. And openly admits if it wouldn't have been for that e-bike, they would have never started again or started trying. I don't know, I say again. Throwing that in there for him. Baron 24601, another $5 super chat. You are tempted to get an e-bike. It would make a sense more fun, and yes, definitely so. And that's the only reason. Yeah, I'm still on this stool. I already see me fidgeting on this thing. DIY Solar Energy, get another chair, right? Nope, still on the stool. But yeah, I've been avoiding buying an e-mountain bike because I know the second that I can climb without any effort, that'll be it. That'll be it. You could ride more in a day, that's true. Less cheating than taking a chairlift. Very, very accurate, right? And people do that. I forget, what's the term for that? You go to a mountain bike park, and there's a term for taking a ride up to the top so that you can ride down. I forget the term. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing. And those same people, I know some people that have been to parks and have done that, and they talk about e-bikes like it's, an e-bike. Yeah, but what I will say, the local bike shop, I think everyone that works in there, they're pretty much gearing to, they said that's the future. That e-bikes, e-mountain bikes, that is the future. And they're all talking, yeah, I'm going to get one of those high-end Trek e-mountain bikes. I can't remember the name of it. And it may have even changed. They changed their names a lot on their e-bikes. But if the local bike shop hardcore people are talking about e-mountain bikes, then it's good enough for me and good enough for everyone else, I would think. But we can ride longer. And as Baron 24601 just mentioned, you can ride more in a day, assuming you have the battery juice, because some of these things get heavy to pedal. Some are still doable, like this one. Still doable even without juice on it. Still doable, not pleasurable, but doable. But that, so you got more riders, ride longer, and also think about this. I used to bike commute to work. I used to bike commute to college, and I live in Alabama. And if you've ever been in Alabama in July and August, late June, July, August, most of September, it is hot. It is hotter, to use an Alabama phrase, it's hotter than blue blazes. Don't even know what that means. but it is so bad you can feel like you're sweating in the shower. Taking a shower, you go walk 20 feet to get to the mailbox and come back literally with the little sweat imprints on your shirt. It's that miserable and humid. And trust me, when you're cycling, people don't appreciate you being as sweaty as you might think that they are, or not be as cool with it than you might think that they are. Because I've arrived at work where I am so drenched. Well, formerly arrived at work where I'm so drenched I lean back on my chair and then lean back and realize, oh, my chair is soaked. I just soaked the chair that when I'm not here, someone else has to sit in. And that's gross. So with an e-bike, even in high humidity, high heat, you can hop on it and ride where you need to get. You've got that nice cooling breeze and you're not putting out a lot of effort. So you arrive there just like you would if it were a 60-degree day. And you're taking a nice casual ride, but this is for a bike commute. So multiple things. Multiple big arguments for why e-bikes are good. Now I'm going to go to chat first. Somebody just did a super chat that I missed.
And real quick, we're getting some people saying that you've got a little bit of an audio video sync issue. It may be at like a tenth of a second delay, but just bring that to your attention.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, I can kind of see it now. But I can't, I think it's because that extra app. Well, this will be a shorter live chat anyway. I'll work on that for the next one, but I appreciate everybody letting me know. But KD, $1.99, I appreciate that. I absolutely love e-bikes and e-scooters. So fun. Yes, they are. I 100% agree. Thank you for the super chat. Very, very nice of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know why that's kind of lagging like that. It shouldn't be. My Ryzen computer. So, yeah, let me look through here really quick. I'm going to scroll up, see what we've got. My e-bike talk wise. Please do not spam. So I see it looks like we may have some spam issues. Oh, what's up with that? I don't see any that are blocked. So maybe that's just a reminder, which is good. Appreciate that. Because I've had a little bit of a problem. And some not politeness that has happened. And you know, I'm a passive guy. I try to be nice and appreciate everybody, but there's some behind the scene things that even spilled over onto my buddy, DIY Solar. Some people leaving some comments there because they thought they got blocked and they weren't. So anyway, yeah, just be cool, or I do reserve the right to totally block someone from the channel. Hey buddy, thiosemi-carbazide benzoyl alcohol. And I don't mean this as mean. I see another super chat from Uncle Bobby there and somebody else. I'll get to those. But my buddy Thio, which is what I call you, he or she they have been around since probably 5,000 subscribers on this channel. So I appreciate you being around. But they love Alibaba and get mad that I don't mention it more. Love Alibaba, AliExpress. Get mad because I don't mention it more. But there's a reason I don't shop there. Number one, patience. I'm an American consumer, but anyway, I appreciate you being here. Kyle Anderson, I see you as well. Dennis Williams, let's see. Dennis sent $5 in a super chat. I appreciate that, Dennis, very much, but I don't see a message. So if you have a message, let me know, or type it in there, and DIY Solar Energy will let me know what you said, and I'll try to answer it. Because I know those super chats, sometimes it looks like you're going to be able to type a message after and then it just sends the $5 and you didn't get to type anything. So I don't want you to miss out on a question. Uncle Bobby, I appreciate you being here. 2 weeks in a row, 3 actually, I think. I think about e-bikes, but do they make them for tall people? Yes, absolutely. There are companies that make quite a few. As a matter of fact, this backwards camera thing, these electric XPs, that saddle, here. I'll get up. I'll move around. Michael Cunningham, another super chat. Have you thought about looking at Bikes Direct for big box e-bikes? I actually have. I came close to buying that e-mountain bike. But these electrics, I hope you can still hear me. I just want to show you guys how much higher this will go. That's the handlebars. I am 5'10", and it's up to my chest. find out where the minimum, there's the minimum insertion point. So that's how tall these electrics will go up to. So I would think you could be huge. I mean, I'm talking, well, not going to be able to get that back in there now, but I would think that you could be huge. I mean, tall, tall, tall. Because look at that. Maybe I'm sitting down and look at this. Look. I mean, that's crazy. So a lot of flexibility. So yes, Uncle Bobby, they do make e-bikes for tall people. Plus, if you go to a bike shop to get an e-bike, they'll come in size frames. I think even on that Bikes Direct that someone just mentioned. Hey, Ed Quesada. Hey, buddy. About the 4th or 5th live chat for you in a row. And I know 2 or 3 where you've done super chats. I appreciate it. Can we get a video of Sweaty Kev, all sweat marks? It won't take long. In the middle, we're just a few months away from where everything I do, and I get so mad. I complain so much about the heat and humidity. It just drives me crazy when you're in, like, I'll get a bike out to film it, and I'm in the shade. I'll be in the shade. It'll be early in the morning, and 2 minutes in, I'm dripping sweat on stuff I'm trying to film. It gets me so mad. So mad. So yeah, I don't handle heat well at all. I get mad about that very much. Michael Cunningham, yeah, you talked about the Bikes Direct. You were the one with the Bikes Direct, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that so much. More than you know. So back to the regular chat here. Alibaba tanked last week. Yeah, they're stock. And smash the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Harry Grimley reminding everybody. And by the way, I have 2 new moderators. I don't think they're going to join in tonight, but you may see new moderators pop in because I've been running into a problem, kind of touched on a little bit earlier with, I don't know, somebody, you know, the one thing I don't allow is, well, one of the many things, I don't allow swearing. I'm glad I brought this up. Swearing, I have all the words that I could think of blocked, swear-wise. So you have to remember when you're commenting on my channel, if you say like that bike is bad, then that's going to get blocked automatically. And because I just don't want, I don't want swearing on the channel. And people tend to use some words. I'm not going to spell out any, but some basic words that aren't really that bad anymore, but are still technically swearing. So I block all of that. So if you type something and you see that it got blocked, or you say, hey, I typed and it's not taking it or something, you might want to re-look at what you're saying, because if there's anything that's a connotation or a swear word, it'll probably automatically get blocked. And I only go in and look at those. I mean, it's periodic that I go in, but not super often. I don't go in every day and look at block stuff. And also, if you comment too much, you will get flagged as spam. That's something I don't even do, and YouTube doesn't even give me a spam. I used to have a spam tab, and it was always full, always full. And I used to look through that regularly. There's that tab doesn't exist anymore. So all this being said, I block swear words, but I also, you know, there's a little bit of etiquette in life. And the one thing that I don't allow, but I've been nice and kind of letting it pass, is people spam for their channel on my channel, right? I've worked hard for this channel, and I support any other channels as much as I can, but kind of coming in and phrasing things so that it's actually just an advertisement for your channel, I tend to block that. Or, well, actually, I haven't been blocking. I've let quite a few of them go, and even one group that did it in a very covert way, and I kind of respected the covertness, so I let it go for a while. But then when things happen, you start spamming in a super chat, and they start getting blocked, and then you start going to my buddy's channel and leaving some hate. Yeah, I'm not going to let that happen. So I'm not going to say any more about that, but just please be truthful and kind, because we're all here to have fun, right? Not here to chastise each other, anything like that. We also need to support each other, because we're all the bike community. So let me get to this $5 chat from Jake Southworth. Jake, oh, man, I like that Southworth. That just sounds prestigious. Hey Kev, love the channel. Sorry for the non-bike question. Not fine. What kind of zip hoodie is that? This is a cheap hoodie from Walmart. this probably, I don't know if it's Faded Glory or what brand it is. I have two of these that I purchased at Walmart end of season before COVID. And I got these things for, I think, $5 or $6. Wear them like crazy. Oh, by the way, that's a segue. Since David Montreal is not here, people always ask what shirt I'm wearing. Normally I would be wearing a Kev Central shirt, but that one's new. Just arrived, hasn't been washed. So has a tag on it. I don't wear stuff that hasn't been washed. So I'm in my MASH 4077 shirt. It's a kind of a thing. I do TV shirts periodically, and people always ask. So there you go. But thank you for asking about the hoodie, and thank you for the super chat. It helps the channel so much. I am so thankful for every super chat and anybody that is subscribed, involved in the channel. Thank you all so much. So I hope that answers your question. And now, haters gonna hate. I see Harry Grimley there. Something about somebody gonna subscribe, I think I saw, and I appreciate that too. I was gonna put up indicators when people would subscribe, but I was scared that that would honestly, I was scared people would start gaming that and unsubscribe and subscribe, unsubscribe and subscribe to see their name keep popping up. So I didn't do it. I see, okay, somebody else is spamming there. So people are having to delete stuff. So be kind, because you don't want to get permanently banned from the channel. I don't want to do that to anyone, because it is bikes, as I mentioned, and we all should support each other. Matt, we stand. You love the channel. I appreciate that. You ended up maybe ended up buying a Giant Escape, Becca. So you bought a Giant. Good bikes. If I had a Giant dealer here, I'm sure at some point I would have one, because everyone I've ever seen and the few that I've had the luxury of mess with, very nice bikes. And they make for a lot of brands too. Don't think they make for Trek anymore, but I heard at one time they did. Lynn Ledford, longtime subscriber, love the channel. Would there possibly be more High Five Friday episodes? Yes, I almost did one last Friday, but I was so burnt out from the 5 bikes in 5 days that I had to kind of take a break. Somebody, Kyle Anderson, possible go tubeless with non-tubeless ready tires. You know, tubeless tires, the sidewalls are made specifically so they don't bleed out the ceiling, because non-tubeless ready sidewalls are actually kind of porous. They're not made to be tubeless, so and I tried. I had a set that was sold to me as being tubeless ready, and it turns out they weren't. Oh, I was all the time having to air those things up, and every time I would air them up, I would have little bubbles coming out the sidewall, some Michelins. So, I mean, technically it's possible, but you'll have more problems, in my opinion, than it'll be worth. And not only that, but you know, tubeless ready wheels, there's a special lip design between them and the tires. So if you kind of engineer it with non-tubeless ready, which like I did on Project Axum DP, that can be problematic. It can be problematic. It was so hard. I didn't even set it up. I let the bike shop do it, and they were not happy. It was a lot of work for them. Skeet, I have a 2021 Trek Marlin 7. Very nice bike. Yeah, that Marlin 7 is a pretty respectable bike. Very much so. And I see another reminder about the 15% off coupon using XR Pros, good for 24 hours if you want to get a shirt or something like that. And this, remember, I have magnets too on the eBay thing now. Oh, because it's not face. I was wondering how a magnet could stick to itself, but because it's front to back. And I also have these cool little things there. All that helps out the channel. But again, my most popular, the base 2x2. The base 2x2, the most popular. Okay. Let's do this. Did everybody, DIY Solar Energy, did you see anybody vote on if they wanted a story? If they didn't, we'll just do that next time. But
I saw quite a few coming through, but I did not take note, so I apologize.
okay, well, let me just scroll up through here and see if I can see them. Or maybe somebody can be kind and scroll through and do a little poll there and see what was the preference, and I'll share a non-bike story. Because as I mentioned, wow, this is already going on an hour. Wow, man, this flies. This time.
Let's just go ahead and do a non-bike story. We had enough votes last time.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll give the first one. I'll give the first one. Save some of the convenience store stuff. The time I joined this. No, I won't do that because David Montreal wants that story. So I'll do a convenience. No, I'll do the time that I got fired. And then I'll do the convenience store. I'll save those. Use a smaller bike tube to seal non-tubeless tires to make tubeless. Yes, you're talking about sealing the wheel, Thio. Hope you don't mind me calling you that, Thio, but it's just not convenient to say that big long name. But remember that these sidewalls, I've got a non-tubeless ready set here. These sidewalls are porous, so you're going to eventually bleed out slowly that sealant. I don't know how much you can hear that. Can you guys hear the noise in the background? Since the stimulus came through, my neighborhood is overrun with four-wheelers and large people on those little pocket bike looking things, like one step up from a pocket bike, like a little kid's 50cc dirt bike kind of thing, but like adult-sized people riding around on it. So, yeah, a lot of noise, a lot of noise. Okay, so I will share a quick story with you, and this is the time that I got fired. Wait, did I tell that last time? About the Corvette DIY? You don't recall that? Okay. Make sure I didn't tell that before. My first job was at Chuck E. Cheese. Well, technically Chuck E. Cheese, it was with Showbiz Pizza, because Showbiz, there are some Showbiz pizzas, and then there are Chuck E. Cheese. And it eventually turned into a Chuck E. Cheese, the one that I used to work at. But my first job, this rich guy that was a friend of my dad's, or my dad knew him, he wasn't a friend of him. He owned this Chuck E. Cheese place. And I used to do delivery. I started on my first job. I was doing delivery at a 1969 Beetle with basically, it was a 1776 engine. And then I went to 2180. See another super chat. Wow, get to that one in just a second. And it was fast for a Beetle. And I was doing pizza delivery or delivering. They had sandwiches and stuff like that. So I was doing them at lunchtime. And I don't remember if I was upgrading or what I had to do to my Beetle. But my dad had this red Nissan. And my dad, I don't know if you guys remember, but car bras used to be a thing. And my dad had them after they were not a thing anymore, but he still used his car bra. So he had this nice leather on the front of his Nissan little sports car. Can't remember which model Z it was. But we used to kid around because it would fade, because he left it on all the time. And he would take it off and it would be faded, so he would just go get a new paint job. And we used to kid around that he had gotten so many paint jobs that the car was going to get so wide that it couldn't go through tunnels or fit in parking spaces. So he'd had a paint job done, and let me acknowledge really quick, Dennis Williams, $10 super chat. Thank you. You've got the big super chat of the night. Man, I really appreciate that. Love eBikes. Got a Hemiway 2 weeks ago, and my wife got a Rad Runner. Too awesome. I have a Rad Mission on the way. I have a 66-year-old motocross football legs. E-bikes rule. That is so true. I'm glad. E-bikes. Good fit for tonight. And let me get and show you. I've got this shirt. 50% off. Check that out. Battery charging. Battery charging. I don't know why I hold that sideways. And got a little Kip Central logo on the back. But if you like e-bikes, get one of those to wear while you're e-biking. But which Hemiway did you get? Which Hemiway? And the Rad Runner, yeah. And the Rad Mini. A lot of people like those. But I'm curious, did you get that one? Did you get, because it's backwards, I have to think about this, but I'm starting to get used to it. The Hemiway, did you get that? The moped style Hemiway that I really am in love with? I hope so, but I'm sure anyone, and you love the Nissan Z, so back Justin Gardner. So, and Billy Bob, yes, was the main character at Showbiz Pizza, absolutely, absolutely. Amy, I appreciate you digging up the past there, because it was. So I had to take my dad's brand new car, or brand newly painted car, probably the third time. He had it painted, and I drove it, and it was the day after he got it painted, or it might have even been when we picked it up that morning. And if you've ever had a car painted, they usually tell you, hey, don't wash it, don't rub on it. For the first week or so, just kind of rinse it off. And let them, even though they're electro-baked and all that, just don't start scrubbing on it for a few days or a week, whatever. So I'm an avid rule follower, so I took that to heart. And it happened to be the day that I drove that car was the day that the very ardent guy that was the head of pizza delivery, I'll protect his name by calling him Jeremy, very close to his name, but that guy was, I don't know, something. He was very much into his job, this little minimum wage job. He was very much into it, and he brought up magnetic signs. Yeah, I'm not going to put that on my dad's car because it just got painted. So here is this newly painted car, and I'm not going to possibly, you can't even wash it, rub on it. I'm not going to put a magnet on it. Plus, they wanted you to sign this thing that was $70 or $79 if you lost one of those signs. And I know that guy used to follow the drivers regularly because, like I said, a little out there. So he, Cosmo Kramer thing there, little out there. So he used to follow. I'd see him all the time. And I had that big engine in my Beetle, which made it fast for a Beetle. So I would try to lose him, did many times. But I was scared that he would come and peel them off just to collect $79, right? So the two things, so the owner shows up, and there was this back kitchen area where everything happened, and the owner walks up, and I'm going to call him Malcolm. Not even close to his name. Call him Malcolm. Malcolm shows up and says, hey, I understand you're not willing to put these magnets on that little Nissan. Well, that's my dad's car. I'm like, yes, sir, that's my father's car. I'm not going to put the magnets on because it just got washed or just got painted, and I'm scared there'll be a problem with that. It might mess up his paint, and I'm only borrowing it for this day. His response was something along the lines of, well, I think you should put them on it because basically that's a cheap car. And it was a Nissan Z, right? You know, for the average person, that's not a cheap car. But Mr. High-End Z-Series Corvette thought that it was a cheap car. So by this time, we were talking back and forth, very politely, but we were talking. I was voicing mine. I'm a very good debater, a very good debater. I've been removed from debate teams in school, like elementary school, because no one could win. I'm just naturally good at debating, even if I don't believe in the stance that I'm taking. So we were going back and forth. Finally, people started slowly converging because I was coming back at him with everything that he was saying. He made a mistake. He said, so you won't put those signs on that cheap little Nissan, but I'll put them on my Corvette. I said, sir, you are not thinking properly because they won't work on that Corvette. He's like, I put these signs on that Corvette all the time. I said, in that case, you are a liar. Everyone got closer. The entire kitchen staff like hovered right around, like a circle around us. And he was taken aback. So then he said, I am not a liar. I put those on my car all the time. I said, sir, those are magnets. Those are magnets. That Corvette is fiberglass. I know for a fact, and I'm pretty sure it's taught in elementary school, that a magnet will not stick to fiberglass. He knew I had him, so he kind of looked around there. Plus, I had called him a liar. He pauses for a second, and then he says, I put them on with duct tape. I said, well, in that case, you're not only a liar, you're an idiot. Because duct tape's going to rip the pretty paint off that Corvette. I don't care how nice you think it is. It was just like almost fluidly out of his mouth. He says, I think you need to leave. I said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. So I walked out, got in my dad's cheap little Z car, and drove home and told him. And he was not happy with that guy for saying that. So that's the story of how I got fired from my first job and called my boss an idiot and a liar, or a liar and then an idiot, within about a minute of each other, which I felt pretty good about. So there you go. So stick to your guns. If you have one of those bosses, first, you know those people that are bosses and they're way too into their job? They are way too into their job. Like, that doesn't mesh with me all that well. Because, you know, you got to do a good job, right? Get your money's worth for the employer. Because the employers have hired you, but going that overboard, yeah, it's not my thing. But I'm definitely not going to let somebody lie to me and degrade my father's property. Yeah, that's basically degrading, right? I mean, this is America. Our cars are, you know, it's cars. You're kind of degrading a person when you do something like that. So that's the story. So if you want to hear more, I don't know how boring that was for you guys. If you want to hear more stuff along those lines, then I can share the others in future videos and we'll vote on. So if you don't like that, you think it's stupid because it's non-bike related, But let me know, because again, I'll read through these comments, and I see Johnny G Rod, or yeah, Johnny G Rod, a $5 super chat. I appreciate it, Johnny. What's your code for the electric e-bikes? Oh, it was Kev Central, I think was the code. You can go to my original Electric XP review video and look in the description there, and that code will be there. It hasn't changed. I don't know if it's still active. Someone earlier said that it was. I see someone right above you there commented, Mountains and More had an 85 Nissan 200 SX with a black Lebra on it. Nice. Nice. I have no idea what model Dad's was. But yeah, the Lebra. I don't even know if his... No, his had a Wolf something name at the beginning. No, it was a Lebra. It was a Lebra Wolf something series. I think. Because I don't know. That's going way, way, way back. Trying to remember the bras. But yeah, do you remember, did you fade the nose of yours too by leaving it on when it rained? And then got hot and baked it? So just go through this chat here. Eddie Rickenbacker. And again, I'll read everybody's comments afterwards. I always do. And I really appreciate you being here. And I didn't miss a super chat, right?
Hey, Kevin, real quick. There's a gentleman that's asked a question. Can we find his name? I apologize for holding up.
Say a prayer for Sean Bradley. I see something here. Andrew Rolfe. Everybody be safe. Say a prayer for Sean Bradley. What's happened to Sean Bradley? I don't know, but definitely give them a prayer. Whatever's happening, I hope that they're okay.
I just threw that up in chat so you can reread it.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Some questions coming. Oh, here we go. David Latortsev. What do you think about Polygon Siskiyou D6? I just pre-ordered one. I've ridden the D7, the previous model of D7. I haven't ridden the D6. But even the D5 impresses me. So I haven't looked at the D6 specifically, but the D5, I kind of like the idea of. I haven't ridden one, but just looking it over, I want one. The D7, I really like, so I can only imagine the D6 right there in the middle. It's probably pretty good. Oh no, a bike accident that paralyzed, who was it? Sean Bradley. I remember that. Sean Bradley. Horrible. Horrible. So everybody give, if you're a praying person, something for Sean Bradley. If you're not, just well wishes for Sean Bradley and quick healing. That was a truck that you just heard go by. And somebody said something about my audio peaking, right? So let me lower it just a bit. See if this helps. I think it's because I scooted in closer. So hopefully that's going to help out. Yeah, Sean Bradley. My thoughts and prayers go out with you. Oh, and look at that. DIY Solar Energy has even retracted his own message. His own message retraction. I'm picking at you. Yeah, prayers for Sean Bradley. Yeah, my buddy there giving some prayers. Harry Grimley. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to turn this into a non-bike chat. I know that's been a lot of this video, or a lot of this live stream, but you know, like I said, we're kind of a family here. And I wanted to do that Ohana thing, but I'm maybe going to go with the XR Pros for our little click. But yeah, Skylar Allen too. Yeah, so many people. That's nice. All coming together. I wish them well. You know, some people have regained all kinds of therapies now. So hopefully, I'd like to know details too. If you could, hop over to my website and give me some details. Whoever it was that mentioned that, I'd like to know if they don't mind them being shared. I'd like to know what happened. Because, oh, and somebody bought a Schwinn Ascension. I have one on the way. It should be here very, very soon. I even have more info on that's going to clarify some stuff for people. A few days. Oh, it was too big for you because it's a night. The Schwinn Ascension is roughly the same frame as the Schwinn Boundary for 2020. So, or well, Schwinn Boundary. The updated Schwinn Boundary. Just has internal cable routing and a dropper post port. But it's the same sized frame. So that's a big 19-inch frame. So you have to, I'm 5'10", and 19 inches, if it's anything over 19, I can't ride it. Not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. yeah, everybody be safe while you're riding. So checked later, my email and saw an alert from Schwinn, the aluminum comp. So he scooped up an aluminum comp. Well, Ringo Starr, 1R Ringo Starr, that was a win. So everything worked out. So that's good that things work out. Trying to send a super chat, but it's not working for me. Cool Picks 22. Well, I appreciate the attempt. Just ask a question. I'll try to get to it here. Don't know that I'm going to go too much longer because I only have take 10 Q&A. I'll get my phone. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to start a timer here. Get my clock up. Going to start a 10-minute timer. Start. And I will pause this if there are any super chats so it doesn't take away. So ask away in the chat. This is all about, I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to re-stretch my legs sideways here. Oh, and I'm looking at this stool, this bench seat, or not bench, but this Craftsman that's right beside me. So I have a hardtail, looking to buy a second e-bike, hardtail or full suspension. Are you asking me if you should buy a hardtail or full suspension? I will be right back. I'm going to have to drink water. Alright, I apologize everyone. The sheetrock dust is starting to have an effect. I'm pretty sure it is all in my mouth. So if you're looking for a hardtail or full suspension obviously better bikes overall for smooth riding, but hardtails are fine, you know, and there's less to break on a hardtail, so whatever suits your fancy. See, I got a job at my local bike shop. Nice. That's Dominic Sorrentini. And would like to know how to reduce the big box hate. You know, I don't know. The only thing I can think to tell you is to point them towards the new bikes that are coming out. Like the new Schwinn Axum DP, which will be unveiled within a day or two. I'll show the video on that, available in May. And show that and a few things that are going to be mentioned about that bike, that it starts nullifying somewhat their argument. Of course, there's always the local bike shop and service. Local bike shop setup and service means a lot, but you are paying a premium. But big box bikes, they're a-changing. They're not what they were. Some of them, some still are. You know, some of the lower end ones. But even those, if it works for you, who's to say that it's wrong? Now, what I don't like, Dominic, is those local bike shops that refuse to work on a big box bike. In my opinion, if you are a bike shop, you should work on every bike to support cycling. But then again, I'll put a caveat in there. If you're a super busy shop, I mean, I'm in a small town, so my local bike shop, any business they can get, they usually are happy to serve. But if you're maybe one of those big places that does 2 or 3 major brands and you're so backlogged, I could understand a little bit there. If we don't sell it, we don't service it. But just picking on it because it's a big box bike, nah. I think over time, if things keep evolving like they're evolving, it's going to be a harder argument for them, so we'll see. Sonia, hey, this is my patron formerly Spectrum, that's now just Sonia, so I edit it further. Okay, got that. Just a little something on Cool Picks' behalf. So people keep saying Cool Picks. What am I missing here? Is that a software component or is that somebody?
Somebody, that was the guy that was trying, or individual Cool Picks 222 was trying to do a super chat, but I guess his bank wouldn't let him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, man, thank you, Sonia. Sonia, thank you so much. Is it Sonia or Sonia? Because I dated a Sonia, but that was with a Y. But I've also known someone that spelled it Sonia, but wanted it said Sonia. So let me know. how you prefer that. And I see there, Coolpix222 said something about hardtail, because I answered, I think, their question. Just want to make sure that I do. And they thanked Sonia. Very nice. Man, you guys are so awesome. And I say guys as a general term. I don't mean any gender with that. So if you're male or female or whatever, just know that when I say guys, that's just a mannerism that I have, a well ingrained. Do you still have the bite from Stranger Things? Yes. And if I didn't have the cable on this webcam all coiled up and nicely wrapped, like DIY Solar Energy knows I like to do with things, I would stretch it up and show you. It's in the loft above me, but eventually, this is the back of the bike barn. That's the back wall, right? Right here is the back wall. And that's the side, my far, anyway, so that's the back wall, but at the other end here is my entrance, like 18 feet away, and, well, 12 feet from me. But I'm going to mount that bike right above the door. So if you come in and turn around, or you're leaving, you see that bike. So yes, I still have it. I love it. Don't ride it, of course, but I love that because I'm a huge Stranger Things fan. Even bought a Stranger Things blanket the other day. Huge Stranger Things fan. I even have that radio. Still have that radio. Gonna hang on it. Hang it right up there. Maybe put some posters around it. DIY Solar Energy to help Kev with sheetrock mud for Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Don't expect a $20 one when I do your don't, sorry, I'm cracking myself up. Don't expect a $20 super chat when I do your moderation tomorrow. And by the way, he's going to be doing, I think, an e-bike battery. Is it an e-bike battery that you're going to be doing tomorrow? And I'm going to be doing...
discussing batteries, their types, their builds, and what you should, what project battery type you should use.
Okay, so boring. Got it. No, I'm kidding. No, it's like... So he's going to be discussing batteries and types, but he's going to be doing bike batteries too, with me and him collaborating on a video. But tomorrow, so head over to his channel after this. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notification, because I'll be moderating his chat. Bet that'll go well. I don't have the attention span he does, so it'll be interesting. So we'll see. But thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You, Sonia, everyone else, and Danny Salas, $2.99. How did I miss that? Okay, there we go. Because I was talking about batteries. Hey, Kev, can you answer the question above? Do you have a day job? Are you asking me to answer that one, or did he ask something else?
I'm scrolling up looking. I can't see.
Danny Salas. Here we go. Hey, Kev. I have a Mongoose Standoff 26. Not familiar with that model. I'm wondering if it's possible to replace the front fork. Is this something you cover before or have ever done? I'm not familiar with that model. The Standoff 26. Okay, hold on. Did a super chat. So let me Standoff. Let's see. Let me look at that. Standoff 26. Huh, new name for me there. The Mongoose Standoff 26. There is the women's, there is the men's. Is it the hardtail one? Because there's a, oh, that's the major. So yeah, there's a Standoff 26 on eBay, 150 bucks. Let's see what this thing looks like here. Ah, no longer available.
They have one on Target's website.
Oh, do they? Okay. There's a Standoff on Target. That's a 24-inch. Is it the full suspension, my friend? If you can comment with that, and then I'll come back to you. Because if
I just put it in the chat for you.
Oh, okay. Well, you made it easy for me. You scroll down. I'm sorry this is so unprofessional tonight, but I'm just kind of winging it up. I'm worn out. Worn out. No, you linked me to your channel. Oh, there we go. Okay. You linked. I clicked on your link to your channel. Just FYI, I'm subscribed. So, are you sure? Yeah, go to the site.
Yeah, are you subscribed? That should be the new thing.
Yeah, are you subscribed? Okay, let me look at this bike here. You know what that looks like? That looks like... Man, that looks a lot like that Explorer. Not the not the new Hyper Explorer, but the original Hyper Explorer. That looks a lot like it. The only thing Mr. Salas, was it? Danny Salas. Okay, yes, the fork can be up. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that is a threaded headset. There are adapters made, but typically my rule is if it's not a threadless headset with a 1 1/8 inch straight steer, I don't usually get into the upgrade cycle that much because options start getting limited, but anything can be upgraded. The question that you should be asking is, what do I need to upgrade? Because it's easy to get into that hole. I got a new bike, I want to do stuff to it. But other than grips and pedals, obviously pedals, because the pedals that come on all these bikes, even some 7, 8, 9, well, you get too expensive, you don't even get pedals. But 7, 8, $900 bikes, horrible pedal. Well, 900 is where you get not pedals, but other than stuff like that, unless you need to upgrade, then yeah, I would be hesitant to put a lot into that. Not that it's a bad bike, it's a beautiful bike, but just because it's a threaded headset, that limits your options. Now there are adapters. Well, that's actually for the stem, now that I think about it. So see, your fork options are going to be limited. But I'm sure somebody maybe makes something a little better. But, and also that does not have a replaceable rear derailleur hanger. You can still upgrade the drivetrain if you want. But note that if you fall over and bend that, it's going to bend the frame part of the hanger, and so you have to be very ginger. Be careful with that. But it's, I don't bend derailleurs very often at all, so it's not something that just happens from riding. So don't worry about that. But man, love that paint scheme, right? You looked at that too, DIY Solar Energy, that black and gold. Yeah, they always make good looking bikes. And how much is that thing? Let me just scroll down. How much? $199.99. That's, that's cheap these days, because prices are going up even on big box bikes. Yeesh, prices are going up. So there you go.
But it did have rim brakes. So.
Yeah. That's another thing I look for when I'm buying a bike. And at $199, normally I would say, $199 for rim brakes, no. But right now, with bike availability the way it is and parts the way they are, and Sonia just said there are 1-inch threaded, so upgrades are possible, but you have to look in new old stock parts. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to find stuff for that. Has anyone else had issues? Dominic Sorrentini is asking, has anyone else had issues with the Hydroform headsets? What kind of issues are you having? Curious what kind of issues you are having. And we're actually at 12 minutes. I'm going to go just a couple more minutes here. Let me look up and see if anybody else asked anything, because I started yapping and didn't do that. Okay, do you still have the Mongoose Salvo? Yeah, I still have it. Shuby Bikes, I still have the Mongoose Salvo Pro. Cheap it on the marketplace, not sure if it's worth $600. If it's in excellent condition, maybe. It's full suspension, it's got the Marcour, it's got whatever, I can't even remember on the back, but it rides. Very good riding bike. A lot of, it's not the modern look, and I'll cover that in another video, but there's this mindset right now that if something isn't the latest, greatest, that somehow it doesn't work anymore, right? Like quick release front wheels, all of a sudden a standard quick release front wheel is horrible and doesn't work, but it's been working for 20 years. People aren't riding any harder right now than they did 5 years ago. So yeah, there's that. So someone mentioned, oh, you mentioned it, DIY Solar Energy, the bike show. By the way, I kind of glossed over that at the beginning, but I actually did mention it. I mentioned 5 for 5, but we had the Kev Central Bike Show. He's trying to get people to click on that video because we have a bet.
Wait, hang on. There was a person above that asked what was the hashtag.
Oh yes, okay, I see that. Now that now it's on. So I just doomed myself. We made a bet because things like that aren't high yield videos for my channel. I know what's gonna have better views than what doesn't, but you'll notice I do things for the core audience. Anything that is above that is great. But I focus really on the core audience. So a 5,000, 6,000 view video under 10,000 doesn't bother me. I'm absolutely fine with that as long as the core audience is very happy with that content. And I knew things like the Kev Central Bike Show was only going to appeal to that core audience. So he had these grandiose thoughts of what it was going to get view-wise. I was like, oh no, they'll never reach that. So we have a bet. It's a cheap bet, $1. $1 play money, so we're not breaking any laws in Alabama, right? Play money.
Now, next time here, y'all need to go watch that video.
Yeah, don't. I'm going to mute you. He's trying to lobby his cause for the.
Y'all need to go watch that video and all the way through.
I don't know if you can hear him. He's telling everyone to watch the video. Watch the video. By the way, give him a thumbs up or a clap, an applause emoji for doing. He's such a good moderator. And again, I'm going to be moderating for him tomorrow night, so make sure after this you go to his channel because I hope I do an okay job because I can't top what he's doing because, man, this guy's good. But to be fair, he has moderated before for channels that are way bigger than this one. So the one that I think, didn't you say they had 30 moderators in one live feed? That's how big the channel was. So, yeah. Then there's talking about, okay, so you got a link and everything. That's good. And, hey, is it Whittick? From Alabama, too. Awesome. What part of Alabama? I hope not the tornado-ridden parts. By the way, thanks to everyone that was concerned enough to ask how I was doing. I got multiple messages, including Sonia, asking how I was doing because of the tornadoes that we've had in Alabama. Like 2 days in a row? Oh, somebody gave a thumbs down? What's going on here? What did I miss? Very enjoyable. Thank you, Stephen Smith. I appreciate it. I really do.
You just got to bring up that time when I told you there was a tornado in Coleman before the weather station even told you about it.
Did Lisa Taylor just dab? I believe so. I believe so. Thank you. Amy Fogarty, yeah, everybody giving DIY Solar applause. He does such a great job. Such a great job. As do all of you. Appreciate you so much. 100,000. Sure, brought that got that play button. It'll be in the next one. But I'm not going to drill anything and hang it on the walls just yet, so it'd probably be like propped up in a corner or something. Or worn on a chain around my... By the way, again, my mask shirt on, so when David Montreal watches this, he'll know that I wore the mask shirt. And also, shameless... I about fell off my stool. How much would that get for a super chat? But don't forget, 15% off some Kev Central gear and battery charging. I even have a mug. I thought that would be really cool on a mug for coffee. Battery charging, but has the Kev Central logo centered there on the back. 5 or 6 shirt designs. Be doing more regularly. Gulfport, Mississippi. Hey, you could probably slingshot something over to them, right? DIY Solar?
Yeah, not that far from.
Yeah, Gulfport. He could. Yeah, he's in Mobile. He just said. So I was skirting around that. But hey, the Dear Leader. There is Dear Leader. Yeah, I found DIY Solar channel here. Awesome. Sorry, I cut you off, man. Harry Grimley. The bike show was awesome. Yes. So thanks to everyone that submitted. What was that? 300. Actually, it was probably around 325 because I accidentally duplicated. Well, it wasn't my fault. It was because I thought that I was going through them and I thought, well, I could, because there were a few I had to pull out because they were in there twice. But what happened was people would submit in the blog and then submit it to me in chat as well. And I was pulling down so many that there were a few that were duplicates that happened. Somebody counted, they said 4, but I think there were maybe 1 or 2 more than that. Everyone asked, Ron Mack, everyone asked me about that trigger, the Trigger 3. I don't have that anymore. It was too tall for me. I got jumpy and purchased it and because I was taking what was there. And it was just a little too tall for me. Plus, I was so scared that I was going to break it because there was so much money involved in that. But I did keep those carbon wheels. I did keep the carbon wheels. So they'll be going on something else. If we ever get a big box bike that does have through axle, it's getting some nice carbon wheels because I kept those. Someone LT Guns, like that name, is about to build a bike. Well, good. Let us know what you're about to build. You love the Schwinn, you love the videos. Thank you, Lance Loengart. Do you still have the Schwinn Collegiate? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I probably won't ever get rid of that. That's one of those limited runs that I think is still available. You know how limited run stuff goes, right? But yes, I love that bike. Love that bike. There's a link. Yes, you're sending people some links. So as a life, this is Lisa Taylor. So as a lifelong bike rider, a few questions for your priorities. Priorities putting out a mountain bike coming next year. You happy because I want to get this bike. Okay, I'm trying to. Am I reading this improperly here? So it's a few questions for you. Priorities putting out a mountain bike coming out next year. Oh, okay. All right. The no apostrophe, it threw me. Priorities putting out a mountain bike. You know, I need to email them then because they haven't mentioned anything to me. They have the 600X, which is technically not a mountain bike. It's kind of a, I don't know, enduro, I guess I'll call it, or something bike. But, well, no, that's a mountain bike. But it's not a full-on mountain bike, if that's what you're talking about, at least in my opinion, but I haven't ridden one, but it does have that cool inverted fork. So we'll see, but if they're making a straight-up mountain bike, Priority might be getting some business here from Kev Central because I really like everything that I've ever ridden that they have made. Amazing company and great people. That company is, they got it going on. They got it early on. We're so nice to this channel. You know, helmets that I was able to give away, shirts that I was able to give away, stickers. I still periodically send people, I'll find a little stash of stickers and I'll send people stickers. Oh, you know what I didn't bring, DIY Solar Energy? That mask. I haven't been to my P.O. box. I have a P.O. box. P.O. Box 3484, Florence, Alabama 35630. I haven't been to my P.O. box, realistically, probably since April of last year. COVID, I wasn't going in there.
That's worth taking a break and going and getting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Will you mind? Will everyone here mind if I go for just a second? I'll run to the house and get it in my play button and get. So I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna leave it live. I'm gonna make a run, an away run, and I'm gonna go grab something because somebody sent me something and it was so nice. I want to grab that. So thanks for that, man. I'll be right back.
Make sure you meet your bike.
Motion detected at the backyard.
But now that Kevin has left, I can take over the show. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. What do you guys think of the live chat so far? Man, he will definitely hear me. But no, he did not. He did not mute. See, that's the bad thing about it is now I can run his live show remotely, and he has no clue. Oh wait, he can go back and watch this. Run, Forrest, run. That's right. Exactly right. I have Uncle Bobby rebuilt several e-bike batteries, just not like making a video with it or per se, but we will be doing the Raton battery live on my channel, so make sure you guys check out that. I'll be collabing with Kev. it on down. Yeah, I do plan on doing that. Scene creative. So yeah. Yeah, DIY Solar is taking over Camp Central. It's now the DIY Central now. That's awesome. Well, hey, we'll get a warning when he starts walking back this way from his sensor, so we'll have to watch what we do. So I met Kevin back during the comedian. Okay, I gotta stop. Hey, you forgot to mute your microphone, buddy.
Oh, well, good thing is nobody else in here.
Oh, I know. I was keeping them entertained for you.
Oh, thank you.
Just delete that whole section of the live.
Yeah. And I know, I told you guys this is not like ultra professional tonight, right? Normally I have it very scripted, what I want to do, and then I just kind of manipulate my way through it, trying to sprinkle in some live chat. But I couldn't find my note. They sent a note, but so I went to my post office box, cover up, well, no, that's got their email address. But I went to my post office box, I took the Hemingway, 3 a.m., or 3:30 a.m., somewhere between 3 and 4 a.m. I woke up early, I rode that to the post office, and I waited outside for like 10 minutes to make sure nobody was in there, nobody came out. I went in, N95 masked up, checked my P.O. box, nothing but junk. And just a few little things, nothing important that I missed over, 10 months? But there was this one letter sandwiched in between all this stuff, and it was from Julie Logan, and I have the note somewhere, and they sent this to me in October. It was a nice little letter, and it talked about Julie Logan, and I apologize, there was one other person. They make masks, and they've sent out over 5,000 masks to help people stay safe, like healthcare workers and things. And they took my logo. Look at this. Took my logo. Julie hand sews these, and I don't know, it looks like, I don't know how they get this on. If they got a little screen printer or what, but put a Kev Central logo on a mask for me. Isn't that nice? And hand sews this. They're in Washington. And I felt really bad because that was in October. And look, October, she did the orange and black. Good Halloween theme. And orange also goes with my Kev Central. And I'll show you this. Even on there, cover up all their stuff. Their name, but they even put a little mask face, a little mask smiley face thing. But how nice is that? I think they mentioned stickers, that I'd sent a sticker. So, one time before YouTube got weird with giveaways, I used to do sticker giveaways regularly. And I think they had received a sticker at some point, because she said she was going through some papers and she found it. So that's where she used my logo off that. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Julie and your family. Julie, well, I've already forgotten the other name that I just mentioned, but anyway, thank you so much, and I sent you a couple of goodies, so, because I had your address on the envelope, so I hope that you enjoy what you got if you just happen to be watching this. And they're from Washington again, from Washington to Alabama, people taking care of each other with masks. Very nice, very nice. So let me look here really quick. By the way, when DIY Solar Energy knows how far it is from my house, from my bike barn to my house, and I have to go up a hill, kind of around and then up a deck. Going from bright studio lights shining right in my face to complete darkness outside, it was a pretty tedious climb. Trying to get, that's why it took me so long, because I was going really slow. Oh, don't want to fall. So let me see somebody. Okay, so didn't miss much. Chat wise, dear leader. So we'll be wrapping this up in just a minute. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone here. Where mountains on set? Let's see. It's awesome. Henry thinks wear a priority mountain bike. Make them aware of priority mountain bike to Seth Bikes, Axe, and Kevin. It would be awesome to see them going around riding. Yeah. Let's see. Dear leader again. Whoop. That went by fast. Try to measure whether big box bike frames are aligned properly. I think those frames would have flaws, be skewed quite often. No, they're not. You know, all that stuff's so formed. It's not like someone's holding up tubes and then trying to weld and go. I'm sure that's all so assembly and templated, that those assemblies, because improper alignment would be something that would be very quickly obvious. And I know this because I'm dealing with improper alignment right now on a fork that I'm getting replaced. That'll be covered in another video. But no, they're better made than you would think. Now, the cheap bikes, the quality control, I mean, they slap those things together, but even then, I've never ridden even a $99 bike that I could feel that the frame was off. So I don't think that's a concern, really. It's the best place to buy used bikes. This is Jason Magdaleno. That is not a good question to ask someone that is in Florence, Alabama. We don't have a good used bike market here. It is horrible. The only used bikes that are usually out there are big box bikes that people bought, stuck under their carport or in their backyard for months, never rode, and they'll have surface rust on them, and they're wanting more than they paid for them. Even before the pandemic, that's usually our bike market. I apologize for wiping my nose, but I did just run out there. There's a lot of pollen. But so, you know, we look at Craigslist. The Facebook Marketplace, I think, is where most people look now, unless you live in a big city and then you have Let Go, things like that. What do you think of bike shorts? This is Dominic Sorrentini. Are you asking about the spandex bike shorts? I don't have a problem with them, what anybody wants to wear. I don't think I look particularly good in spandex, so I don't usually wear that. Although I will say, back when I used to ride with DIY Solar Energy, I don't know if he remembers this, but I had some, quote, bike shorts that I used to ride around in and ride the mountain bike trail. It turns out those weren't shorts, they were liners. So I was riding around in basically underwear on the mountain bike trail, and nobody ever said anything. I never said anything, so had no idea. I mean, I'm not talking about just riding on the mountain bike trail. I'm talking about the 2-3 miles that it is from my house to the mountain bike trail. I would ride through the city to get to the mountain bike trail and then ride my way back in basically underwear. And no idea. No idea. No one ever said anything, like I said. So, does the Hypercarbon 29 have a removable lower headset cup? Yeah, those are pressed in, I assume. I haven't taken that one out, but the Carbon 26 frame is removable. It's just a press-in headset cup. So I would assume that it is. Will I remove that? No, that's something that, well, I don't have plans to remove mine. I'm putting a different fork on that bike, but I don't have plans to remove it. If I did, I would not remove it by myself because it's a carbon frame. I would pay a local bike shop to do it. I don't mess around with carbon because I've marred up the insides of a head tube on an aluminum frame, knocking out cups before. Doesn't hurt that much on aluminum, but carbon, you can ruin the whole frame. Harry Grimley, talking to someone else there. Is a 29-inch tire too tall for an e-bike? No, it's not so much the tire, it's the frame that goes with the tire and how that is all spec'd out, because they make 29-inch, I don't know what, usually below medium, you get down to a small, and a lot of companies will even step down from 29 to 27.5. So I would think that most that I can remember anyway, 17-inch and above usually for 29ers, usually 17 and a half or so. for a 29er frame. So if you fit that kind of bike, it probably fit 29er e-bike. But no, if it doesn't have a size frame and has 29-inch wheels and it's from a big box store, it's probably a 19-inch frame. It's the way that kind of works out. All right, let's start wrapping this up. And let me just cover everything else that's mentioned here. Just order Schwinn Aluminum Comp plans to upgrade like your videos. Congratulations, Hunter. What is that? Devinen? Hunter, congratulations on the aluminum comp. I hope you're upgrading over time and you didn't buy an aluminum comp and then had, say, $800 to stick parts in. Because in that case, I would always encourage people to buy a bike already assembled with those parts, unless they just enjoy the challenge like I did. Treacherous was funny. In the older days when helmets did not have the quick fit system, so people would often wear helmets backwards. Now that's interesting. Hey, DOS Solar Energy. I don't remember us wearing helmets when we used to ride out at the trail, did we?
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank goodness.
Have the old Diamondback gloves.
Oh, good. Okay. Good. Thank goodness, because I'm kind of that rule guy, so it'd be weird for me not to, but I just didn't remember it. So my dad just picked up a new aluminum comp. He likes it. It's a great upgrade from his age 1999 Trek 800 Sport. Wow. So he gets his money's worth out of a bike. That's Sword Quilava. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Thank everyone for the comments. Just quick wrap up here. Brian G. Finally made it for one of these. Love your... Oh, you finally made it and I'm talking about wrapping it up. I always feel guilty with that. Brian G, welcome, and I'm glad you made it. You can always watch the replay. I'll go for just a few more minutes. What do we got? We have 1 hour, 48 minutes. Can't believe it's been that long. My butt's not even numb this time on this little bench. Oh, it's because I walked. Walked for a second, but thank you. I'll go for 12 more minutes. Put this over 2 hours, and then we'll be done. E-Bike Mike, hey buddy. Seen you quite a few times here. No press fit cups on the... Oh, really? Those that are not press fit cups on the 29er Carbon X, they are on the 26 Carbon X. Are you sure about that? Have you had a bike shop look at it and confirm? I'll have to look down in there. I'll take the fork out, sneak a peek down in there, but I trust you. Just curious. Swin Fremont, I'm not familiar with that. We've got WH Bunny, hello to you. I don't think I've seen your name in here tonight yet. Swin Aluminum Comps, in my opinion, a great bike. I upgraded mine, video specs, and love it. Good. So you understand why I like mine now, right? Is that the version 1 or the version 2 comp that you upgraded? Lawrence Walker. We got here, Lawrence. You have a GT Aggressor Pro. Any upgrades you recommend? Pedals. That has an what was that? Altus, and then they changed it to an Acera, I think, in the newer ones. And I heard that there's even, well, I know there is. There's even one with a micro shift option, I think, right now for that Aggressor Pro. But the fork could be improved on that bike. But the one that's on it, depending upon your riding, I don't recommend upgrades, so I will just say, anything that you feel you need to do to a bike to be more happy with it, do, but don't upgrade for upgrade's sake unless you just enjoy the challenge. That's on you. Sonia, let's see. See the new DP, you will see that probably not tomorrow, which I was originally going to release it, probably be Wednesday, because again, I'm getting jabbed tomorrow. So that will be most likely Wednesday, unless I run into issues with footage, which could push it to Thursday, but I think it'll probably be Wednesday. First bike, because of your reviews, well, that's Dapaba. That's awesome that you bought your first bike because of my reviews. Wow. Well, I'm glad you, and I'm awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it, and I plan on keeping it up. And there's Hunter again, planning to upgrade over time. Being a car guy and getting, so you like to work on your stuff. Yeah. Version 1, so the 2019 comp, very capable bike. Very capable. Congratulations. I think, didn't you tell me that? That you'd gotten the 2019? I think you told me that Seems like I remember having that conversation. Brian G. New Axum on Walmart. Has a title for red medium frame, but links to a large blue at their side. If you haven't seen it, there are, and I'll cover this. I'm going to make a video. I'm getting more details about some stuff, some of the current bikes. But there's the new Axum DP. The new Axum DP is a significant, or has a couple of significant changes over last year's Axum DP. Include a color, but on top of just the color. The new Axum that is black with the blue writing is the same thing as the Axum, that greenish gold one I had with the black writing. It's the same bike, it's just a different color. So I call it a 2021. Apparently Schwinn just calls it the black, the black Axum. But it is a revision, so a revision to me is 20, Trek, they revise only color for many years in a row, and that's considered a revision. So that is what that is. And the red should be the full suspension. You won't see that hardtail in anything but a large. And that's with the black, that's black with blue text. And they may show other colors, but it may just be some leftover stuff or something, or that didn't get pulled down, at least as far as I understand it. My son's aluminum comp, saw somebody talking about their son's aluminum comp. Wow, there's so many more messages coming in. It's fun number 312, so you made it into the bike show, Greg Pennington, with your son's bike. That is awesome. And again, if you guys haven't watched that, check it out. It's so neat to see subscriber bikes, and that is just for you, the hardcore viewers that make it to things like this, the live stream. Just going to glance through and then wrap this up because it's getting close. I think I can do it even before this. Well, no, I said 2 hours, so we'll go 2 hours. David Mays, hey brother, I love your channel. Here in New Zealand, any ideas for a Talon 3 for upgrades? The giant Talon 3. I'm not that familiar with that model, but as I mentioned, as far as I look at it, I don't tell people what to do, but as far as I look at it, I do comfort stuff first, like grips if I want the bars changed, but pedals and grips are always the first easy upgrades, right? And after that, I start looking at things like performance upgrades, a fork, the drivetrain, but sometimes the stuff that comes on some of these bikes, especially maybe a Talon 3, because that's a couple of steps up, may be okay already, depending upon your needs. E-Bike Tees, love your channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Antonio Rodriguez, can't wait to see the Axum DP. 1986 Schwinn High Sierra had a Sun Tour roller cam brake. Wow. No way to change to different brakes if you wanted to. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Trekerus. Scotty Burns, any decent big box bikes? Come with a decent fork and a 1x drivetrain. It's upgrading to seem worthwhile. There are big box bikes coming out now that have better forks than previous big box bikes, but by better I mean better than previous. Not stellar, but a little more usable if you're on a hard pack. As far as 1x drivetrains, yeah, there are a lot of big box bikes now that come with 1x drivetrains. Some of them decently usable. That Axe, I've ran the Axe drivetrain on the Axum DP all this time, even through stage 1 of upgrades, and that one won't go to stage 2 because I'm converting all that over to the new Axum DP, which still has Axe, but I'll be changing that eventually. But there are some decent stuff. It's fun, Kev. Thanks. It's Grimley. Seen the new Axum. I wish it was in my size. Logan Eardy. That is, note that Axum is going to be in 3 sizes for the Axum DP, a small, medium, and a large. So you may be able to pick up a variant of the Axum in your size. Bonnie. Okay, I think I've roughly caught up. We've got 4 more minutes. Does anyone, and I appreciate it if anyone gives a thumbs up as he just mentioned. Thanks to everyone for watching this live stream. We've got about 4 minutes left. If anyone wants to ask anything, get in some last minute questions here. And normally, as I mentioned, they're more scripted So if this one's very raw, it's because kind of put this together at the last minute. Because as you see with my beautiful, beautiful amateur sheetrock job, slowly doing things, I think it makes the sound better in here. I'm not hearing as much noise from outside. I'm not getting an echo like I used to get when I scoot. If I scoot it all the way over here, I would get an echo when I was talking, but I don't hear that now. I don't hear that now, and hopefully by the next live stream, I will have the stream deck going so I can do bike bills for the super chats and all kinds of good stuff. Maybe have a little more fun with it. Matter of fact, see if I can do that. Can I do... I was trying to do this credits thing for the super chats to roll at the end, but I can't seem to get that to work. So, have to figure that out too. According to Wallace... Yeah, we'll have to test that out. Ever considered doing build test of vintage mountain bikes? You know, people ask me all the time about buying, why don't you buy used bikes? I have to get rid of these grids on my screen, drive me crazy. Why don't you buy used bikes and do an upgrade series on those? Buying a cheap used bike and working on that. The reason I don't do that is because it's not something that you can relate to if you can't easily do it. And I don't encourage people to duplicate what I do. I'm just saying if I go out and I buy a nice bike for $500 that was worth $2,000, you know, good luck getting that to happen reliably and regularly, right? So that's why I don't do that, because it's not so relatable, because you couldn't just easily go search out and find that bike at whatever price that was. Coolpix 222, $10. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you greatly, everyone. So much greatly, but thank you for the super chat.
It was the individual that was trying, or the individual that was trying to do one earlier that had an issue.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, and I see Paul Maloney there. Did I hear you say full suspension axle? If you heard me say full suspension axle, it was a misstatement. I meant dropper post axle. So clarify that. If I said full suspension axle, that does not exist. I was thinking dropper, the dropper post, the DP. So clarify that. I'm glad I scrolled up and saw that. Looked at a stock. Okay, talking about a bike there. Let's make sure we get it. But thank you again, Coolpix. I really appreciate you being here, everyone. Coolpix 222. Dave Mays, sweet channel, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Some talks amongst themselves here. And I see another one that's good. Hey, it's another regular here. Coming in a little late tonight. Thank you for being here. Zoom 870. You'll see it pop up in just a second. Got her a blue aluminum, so aluminum comp. Still waiting on my axle. Did you get her the previous aluminum comp? Because I don't know if you guys know this. I have one on the way. There is a new... I found out that it's actually from last year, but I'd never seen it before. But there is a new women's aluminum comp, and it's like the men's updated aluminum comp with the tapered head tube. So that is on the way, and I'm going to make a project bike out of that. And I even have the coolest name in the world, I think, which I have to look up and make sure it's not offensive in 2021. But I think it's a cool name. It used to be a movie name, so I think it's still okay. But I have a cool name that I'm going to float for that. Not required. Everyone in the Northeast. 13. Annalise Clayton. Hey, I see you comment regularly on videos. Welcome. I appreciate you being here, even though I'm wrapping it up. I'm wrapping it up here in just a couple minutes. Since Coolpix gave the live chat, or the super chat, I will go for 5 more minutes. And again, let me re-clarify there. That's Schwinn Axle DP, not full suspension axle. Just misstated. What's the exact name? Wait a minute. This is... Oh, talking to yourselves there. Okay, that's great. Okay, looks like this is as good a point as any to wrap this up. Thank you so much to everyone for 2 hours worth of this. It goes by so fast. Walmart site has little to no hyper bikes. Yeah, Juan Hernandez, it's all bikes are hard to get right now. It's just the way it is. I did see some hyper e-bikes today. So... thank you so much to everyone for taking part in this very unscripted and kind of random, very random live stream here on Kev Central. More videos coming. Here's Zoom again. I'll get to you before I clock out of here. But more videos coming, including the Axum DP, the 2021 Axum DP, and you're going to want to see that. A couple of really cool things about that bike. So let me get up here. I'll let it ding for you. There you go. There you go. Zoom 870. Thank you so much. JG crankset and oval ring plus Kev Central sticker waiting. So you're going to put that on your bike. That JG crankset, not bad, right? For $39.99. Comes with everything, and it's decent quality. It's held up on Project Axum DP so far without problems. And yes, Kev Central sticker always looks good on bikes. Good time to mention, I have the merch. 15% off. Last time I'll mention this. 15% off shirts. I have about 5 or 6 designs on kevcentral.store. And if you use the code XRPROS, plural, XRPROS, it's in the chat. You can actually look it up for that code and a link to the store. But if you want any Kev Central merch, you can get it. And I also have the stickers. So, like Zoom 870, this is actually a magnet. This is a magnet. I have new magnets on my eBay store. So there's the back side. A magnet. And I have bike stickers that you can put in the 2x2. This is a 3x3 holographic. But the 2x2 base Kev Central logo sticker fits perfectly on the seat tube of bikes. Was designed specifically with that in mind. So you can go pick those up and be like our friend Zoom 870 with his Kev Central sticker waiting on his bike. Yes, a full suspension Axum would be dope. But we'll see what's coming in the big box pipeline. So good night to everybody. Thank you so much, and everyone give some emoji applause to DIY Solar Energy, and also give a shout out to him. He will be doing his own live on his own channel, so be sure after this you head over to his channel and then go buy a shirt and sticker. No, I'm kidding. Only if you need. Only if you need. But head over to his channel and make sure you subscribe so that you can tune in, because I will be moderating his live chat. And I won't be doing anywhere near as good of a job. But I'll try. So that's DIY. Be sure to give him some applause, and I will again read everybody's chat. I go back and I look at these and I read everything. So if you said something and I missed it, I apologize. Like Raymond Karamat, all the people, Cameron Baker, that are commenting it now, Scene Creative, names that I haven't seen during this live chat that I remember. But I'll go through and I'll read all of these. But thank you so much. You guys are the heart of the channel, and how got this channel to the 100K, part of that bike celebration for my plaque here that I'll be putting up on these walls out here. So thank you for helping me get to this, get us to this. There. Oh, you can actually read it with the webcam. How about that? Wouldn't have thought. Yeah, there's my light. Harbor Freight light quality there. Cheap Harbor Freight round light. But thank you guys so much. And again, by guys, general term, just something I say. This is everyone. I appreciate you being here, and thanks so much. And now I'm going to clock this out and end this one, and look forward to the next videos, because they'll be coming here within the next couple of days. So thank you to everyone, and I've got the, oh wait, got a segue, and then I'll go, oh wait, no, let's be right back. Go into that, and then I'm going to go to the offline. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.